ควรจะ
Oh, there's a goal!
The stoves of the NHL are burning hot with playoff pushes and desperation moves. This could be a time to either snicker in derision or laugh hysterically. Let's take a look at what occurred this time around. Boston is going all in this year. The boys' club of the East has usurped mediocrity and is in a dogfight with the rest of a top-heavy Atlantic division. This might be their best chance at a cup run. They need their fix. Their drug of choice, the New York Rangers. First, they give them a sample of Nick Holden, a depth defenseman who is kinda there sometimes and turns into complete ass at others. A little much, but O'Gara wasn't going to make the roster. The next hit, however, is the major one, Rick Nash. One of the faces of the Rangers organization was traded for a rather impressive haul of items like their first-round pick, a nice defensive prospect in Ryan Lindgren, and Ryan Spooner, and the albatross of Matt Bolesky at 50% retention. Holy fucking overpayment. It definitely loads up the wings, but this isn't the Nash of 5 years ago. He's more of a compliment than the main attraction. If Boston uses him properly, they should be fine, but yeesh. May you be compensated for such actions by throwing stuff for random depth and signing old-ass Brian Giunta for the playoff run. St. Louis is once again selling out the liquor cabinets. The Blues have lost 6 straight games and have looked like a drunken bum all over the ice. Injuries are starting to pile up. The goaltending is Swiss cheese once again. The Blues desperately need reinforcements if they want a chance at making the playoffs. The answer may be a bit unorthodox, but I feel they should give SeatGeek a chance. Blues, this is an app that can sort all tickets available on the resale market to help you get the best value for games. In fact, it grades tickets on a 1 to 100 scale and color codes to help you make an informed decision. You can even get a view of where you'll be sitting if you don't make the playoffs, too. St. Louis, use the code word TREE on the link below and you'll get $20 off of your first purchase. The season may not be as dark as the Ralston-Purina era, but there still may be hope for you. It comes with SeatGeek. Rangers, good news, you're finally blowing it all up. It technically should have happened earlier, but I respect a team that realizes their issues and tries to address them. Besides the aforementioned trades with Boston, we have a breakthrough, a trade between them and New Jersey. We are truly blessed in this timeline. Old rivals putting down their weapons and agreeing to trading Michael Grabner for a second-round pick and Yegor Rykov. It's so beautiful to see. May there be more fruits from this relationship in the future. Or more violence, that could work. The first act of this trade is simple enough. The Penguins are looking to bolster their depth down the middle and the Senators are planning a major fire sale. The Pens like Derek Brassard. A trade is made, sending a first-round pick, prospect Philip Gustafson, and Ian Cole the other way. Should be sealed and delivered, right? If it only were that simple. Pittsburgh doesn't have the cap space to take him, and Eugene Melnyk is a total cheap-ass that doesn't want to retain salary. They get everybody's favorite expansion team involved. Turns out that the NHL doesn't like it one bit and rejects the deal. Back to the drawing board. What if you were to put a trade inside of a trade? Prepare yourselves for Tradeception. The Knights need assets to make up for the 40% salary retention. George McPhee has one request: Ryan Reeves, the great enforcer of his time. Throw a few more draft picks around a couple of minor leaguers and thus you have Tradeception. Thank you, Melnyk. Thank you for your incredible avariciousness. If it weren't for that, this would have just been a random trade. Just like how you traded Phaneuf so you could save $4 million. My liquor cabinet is also open for business to you, Ottawa. Ryan Hartman. Kinda surprising Chicago would trade some of their cost-controlled youth to a place like Nashville. Yeah, that haul would do it. God damn, Nashville wants more of that catfish in the cup. Reward yourselves by signing Mike Fisher again. Winnipeg is also going all in their quest to win a playoff game. Paul Stastny is now a Jet for a first-round pick and a prospect. The Jets' forward core is now loaded with enough firepower to rival an M16. The Central Division is going to be a goddamn bloodbath this postseason. This is why playoff hockey is so goddamn glorious. St. Louis, you're gearing up for another painful addition to that legacy of failure. This is a painful one. The human turtleneck is on his way out of Montreal. After years of service, Tomas Plekanec is being sent to one of their main rivals in Toronto. It just feels weird seeing a guy in one jersey go to another after a long time. I felt it with guys like Madonna and Alfredson, and now Montreal gets to feel it with Plekanec. Now the Canadiens have even less center depth. Not that it matters, they're done with all of those injuries. Even worse, it looks like Bergevin will be in charge of the rebuild. Do you seriously trust this guy with the rebuild? I wouldn't trust this guy to build a house out of Lincoln logs. And now we begin what we call the last minute blitz, where all the GMs scramble in the last 15 minutes to get trades agreed upon before the deadline. First, Evander Kane takes his head case waste to San Jose for less than that supposedly massive haul that Buffalo wanted for him. Danny O'Regan, a conditional first-round pick next year, and a fourth-round pick. Kane may actually play in a few playoff games for the first time in his NHL career. And you guys thought Rafi Torres was a nuisance. Let's hope Kane can keep his goddamn head straight for once. Columbus, time to load up on your quest to make it past the first round. Thomas Vanek, Mark Letestu, and Ian Cole step on up as rentals for their push for 7 playoff games. And welcome to the 4 teams in 1 year club, Jussi Jokinen, one of 4 guys to ever do so. Tomas Tatar, you are free from the crumbling empire and are headed to the hottest hockey darling in Vegas. Detroit gets a first, second, and a third-round pick, but most importantly, they get cap relief to try and sign their younger players. Hopefully not to terrible contracts like everyone else on the roster. And hopefully with a new GM at the helm. Connor McHockey has lost his wingman in Patrick Maroon to New Jersey. He wouldn't have been re-signed anyway, so meh. Still doesn't help with cap hell on the horizon, though. Man, this deadline has been boring as fuck so far. My Tampa Bay boner has increased exponentially. Ryan McDonough and JT motherfucking Miller are headed to the Lightning. That's what you can call an all-in push. It cost you a good bit of prospects picks and a decent winger in Nemestikov, but Yzerman is a goddamn madman. They didn't get rid of Sergachev, Point, or Cal Foote in this deal. If I had a wife, I would let Stevie father my children. This could have been yours, Detroit, if only Ken Holland stepped aside when asked. By the way, did Detroit do anything with Mike Green?
Nope.
They didn't. Oh, lovely. And all those rumors for Erik Karlsson? Nothing. The limbo shit show in Ottawa continues on. Nothing changes and everything deteriorates even more because Melnyk. I don't need a reason, just Melnyk. It's only gonna get worse, you guys. Let's see what the Islanders have done. They need a splash, as the fans are tired of Garth Snow's ineptitude and dug way through the fan base under the bus. Show me what's behind the curtain. A minor swap of bottom 6 forwards. Have fun being the 9th seed. Bergevin, what are you fucking doing? You don't trade Pacioretty, you weaken your center depth even further, yet you flip some bottom-pairing defensemen like deck chairs on the Titanic. Does your chalkboard just read John Tavares and nothing else? Please may I see inside the peanut that is your hockey brain so I can understand. Washington, you added a few depth defensemen and called it a day. I can't wait for them to rot on the bench as Brooks Orpik is still given a permanent defensive shift. Well, this deadline was one big boom with a whole bunch of blame. No, I didn't just do this for the SeatGeek shoutout. You shut your whore mouth.